It's August 31st, 2020, and let's talk about Rhys Hoskins. Rhys Hoskins has admittedly had a slow start. Through the first 29 games, he's batting a mere .240 with 5 home runs and 15 RBIs. His start was so slow that by August 13th, it prompted Jim Salisbury of NBC Sports to ask, "Is it time to sit Rhys Hoskins?" And indeed, for that night, August 13th, 2020, Joe Girardi chose to give Rhys Hoskins the night off. In the Twitterverse, many Phillies fans were asking if it was time for the team to move on from Rhys Hoskins. They were citing his low production so far, as well as his disappointing end of the 2019 season. But was that really fair? Keep in mind, we have a shortened season because of the pandemic. On one hand, the season is so short that with only 60 games, a slump by a key player is going to have a major impact. But keep in mind that after July 26, the Phillies lost a week of play because of the big pandemic scare caused by their opening weekend with the Miami Marlins. And that was after only 3 games. So by August 13th, the Phils had only played 13 games in total. And Rhys Hoskins has shown himself to be a streaky player. It's not unusual for him to go 2 weeks in a slump. Rhys Hoskins' big problem is that ever since his August 10, 2017 debut, there have been great expectations for him. Playing just 2 months of the season, he hit 18 home runs. But keep in mind, it took him 3 games before he even got his first major league hit, and 4 games before his first major league home run, and that was a 2-home run game in San Diego. When Hoskins came to the majors in 2017, he was batting .286 in AAA Lehigh Valley. He had 29 home runs and 91 RBIs. So of course, Phillies fans expected great things from him. And in the 2018 season, he continued to play hot. He became the soonest Philly to reach 30 home runs in his career, doing it in 120 games. He beat the Phillies record, which had been set by Chuck Klein, who reached 30 home runs in 132 games. And by the All-Star break in 2018, he had 32 career home runs and 14 on the season. His numbers were impressive enough to get an invite to the Home Run Derby for the All-Star break. And during the semifinal round of the Home Run Derby, Hoskins broke the record with 20 home runs in that round. Now, of course, the record was promptly broken again by Kyle Schwarber, who then eliminated Hoskins. Nonetheless, his home run derby performance was impressive and added to the expectations of his career. By mid-2018, Rhys Hoskins had shown good power. So what happened? Hoskins finished 2018 with 34 home runs and 96 RBIs, but he was batting .246. In 2019, he started off fast. He had 20 home runs by the All-Star break, and he was batting .263. But like most of the rest of the team, he fell into a slump in the second half of that season. In the second half of 2019, he only hit 9 more home runs and was batting .180. That gave Hoskins a season batting average of .226. But keep in mind that after 2017, Hoskins was dealing with a change in manager. In 2017, his manager was Pete Mackanin, and Mackanin had a reputation for doing well with young players. In 2018, the Phillies hired an untested manager, Gabe Kapler, and this was part of an effort to place a greater emphasis on analytics. One advanced statistic that we kept hearing about in 2018 and 2019 was launch angle. In 2017, Hoskins had an average launch angle of 18.4%. In 2019, that had increased to 23.9%, and it correlated with an increase in fly ball percentage. So far in 2020, we see that Hoskins' launch angle has gotten even higher. It's an average of 26.3%. But there are some promising statistics. Hoskins is rather picky when it comes to which pitches he swings at in his at-bats. In 2017, his strikeout percentage was 21.7%. That increased to 24.5% in 2019. But in 2020, his strikeout percentage has decreased to 20.8%. And this is correlated with an increase in his walk percentage. In 2017, his walk percentage was 17.5%. That fell to 16.5% in 2019. So far in 2020, Hoskins is showing a 19.2 walk percent. Hoskins is currently leading the National League in walks, and he's number 2 in walks in the majors. So you may be saying, walks are boring. Hoskins is known for his power. He should be swinging for the fences. But right now, Hoskins is batting second in the batting order. His job is to get on base so that Harper and Real Muto can knock him in. What's required is that he has a high on base percentage. So walks adds. So by walking so often, he's doing his job. In fact, of Harper's 7 home runs so far this season, Hoskins has been on base 5 times. And Hoskins has scored 24 runs. He's just 2 runs shy of breaking the top 10 for the major leagues. He's also in the top 8 in major. He's also in the top 8 in the majors in on-base percentage. The fact is, while Hoskins is not putting up the high power numbers or a high average, he's still valuable to the Phillies. He's getting on base and he's scoring. But Phillies fans are notoriously impatient. And in that regard, let's compare Rhys Hoskins with Mike Schmidt and Schmidt's horrible rookie season. Through 1972 and 1973, Mike Schmidt had 401 at-bats. He was batting below the Mendoza line at 197. He had only had 79 hits and 19 home runs. Rhys Hoskins reached the 400 at-bat mark around June 24, 2018. At that time, he had 103 hits and 29 home runs, for a batting average of .258. So Hoskins had done much better in his early career than Mike Schmidt did. Yet if the Phillies had given up on Mike Schmidt after 1974, Schmidt would not have had his Hall of Fame career. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Rhys Hoskins is a Hall of Fame caliber player, but his numbers since August 21st have been most encouraging. In 8 games, he's had 3 doubles, 5 home runs, 7 RBIs, and he's scored 10 runs. Now, can he continue that performance? We will have to see. And it will be one of the most interesting stories as the Phillies enter the last month of play and find themselves in the second wild card position. In this shortened season, the Phillies are already in the home stretch and are battling for their playoff lives. They most certainly will need a good performance from their first baseman, Rhys Hoskins. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you have any ideas for topics that we can cover in the future, please let us know in the comments below. If you would like to see more of these videos, please consider becoming a patron through Patreon. Again, we'll have a link in the description box below.